Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Darlington. I teach physics and chemistry here at Galway. If it looks like my eyes are reading on my computer screen here, it's because I am. I just need to make sure I don't leave anything out. So, a little bit about me. I have a BS in economics from Union College. My master's degree, my teaching degree is from UC Santa Cruz. I started teaching in 2006 at CBA in Albany. Um, I then did a year in Portland, Oregon, teaching out there. Came back here around 2010, where I started working here at Galway, and I've been here since then. Also, here at Galway, I'm in charge of the district photography. I'm the district webmaster, AV coordinator, elementary GTV supervisor, chemical hygiene officer, and I think that's it. About our classes. All of my classes run through my website, naturalphilosophers.org. If you want to find your kids' student information packet, just click on the class. We'll do physics right here, and then go down to information sheet, and you'll see it all here. Most of you have seen this already, in as much as it was an assignment for students to have you guys send me an email that says you've read all the course information stuff. So I'm sure you've done that already. So because of that, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over those details. And I thought I'd talk about my classes more broadly. My classes are a lot different than other kids' classes typically have had coming before me. And because of that, I'm sure they're a lot different than what parents are used to also. Ironically, most of what I do is largely informed by my experiences as a college track athlete, where I took my probably below average ability and through hard work, determination, and I guess stubbornness, transformed myself into a school record holder in the triple jump at around 14 meters, largely from just not giving up. Not to mention, I also chose to teach science, as you know, after finishing college with a degree in economics. All right, so let's turn our attention back to the website. There's a lot of different information on the website for a lot of different people. We're going to go to Kaizen, and then which is the Japanese idea of improvement, and then we're going to go to success or failure. Um, if you're going to coach your students or your kids successfully, I want you to spend some time going through the information that's here. This is basically my guide to students on how to be successful students. So as we know, as the research shows us, that the most important thing for a high school kid is to just basically not give up. There's been a research movement in education recently centered around this idea of grit. But the fact is that if you listen to anybody who's successful in their lives, they're going to tell you that they've known this for a long time. Grit is basically what separates who quit from those who don't, and those who are successful in what they want to get out of their lives and those that don't. So, this video, the long game about Leonardo da Vinci, very interesting. Highly recommend it. After that, we have a couple inspirational stories. From here on out, again, please spend a little time looking at this. These are a lot of study tips, study habits, stuff that's worked. I survey students every year, ask them what study habits they're using that work, and basically go back to this over and over for my students. And this is the stuff that really helps them when they're trying to break through those barriers and trying to get better as students. So again, it may sound harsh, but the real goal of this class is to get kids out of their comfort zone, get them to not give up, and get them better as students. Really, my goal is so that they learn the skills that they'll need to succeed in their lives, regardless of what they choose to do. My worst fear, honestly, is that they leave class unprepared for what's ahead, and everything I do is designed around them to succeed in what they choose to do, whether it's plumbing, nursing, physics, accounting, or go to school for economics and then end up being, a high school physics teacher. Let's go back to differences between my classes and other classes that kids are probably used to. As you know from the course information sheet, I don't give guarantees and I don't grade for completion. Um, the primary way the kids are going to learn at home is by doing problem sets. Doing problem sets prepares them for quizzes because the quiz questions come almost word from their problem sets. And doing problem sets also allows kids to retake tests. So I believe because of all of this, because I don't give guarantees, because I only give grades for what they learn, if you compare our region's passing results to schools that are like us, that as a good peer group is our WAC Athletic League, we tend to score much higher than they do on their region's passing rates, and I take great pride in this. What I learned a long time ago is that teachers care about learning and students care about grades, and these two ideas don't always line up. Teachers tend to assign work, assuming kids are going to do it to learn. Kids are going to do the work because they know they're going to get a grade. And once I reconciled those two ideas and I started grading kids on what they learn, sure enough, they learned a lot more and our passing rates on the Regents exam shot way up. And I take great pride in the fact that ours are as good as anybody in our peer group, if not much better than anybody in our peer group. And I largely attribute it to the fact that I don't grade for completion, I grade based on what kids learn. So let's get back to what you can do to help kids and support them. Basically, there are three things. One, make sure kids are writing down what's coming up in the following week in class in their planners, phones, whatever they use to keep track of their assignments. Two, based on this, make sure they're keeping up with their notes and their problem sets. That is, working consistently. And three, make sure they are actively studying by writing. The third point brings us back to the PowerPoint here. Again, please go through a lot of these study habits that work. If they don't have a volume of work to show you, if they can't provide evidence that they're studying, then they're not studying. A lot of kids think that just reading over their notes is studying. It isn't. Make sure that they're writing, make sure that they're practicing. It should feel difficult. The analogy that I like to use is that if you're not practicing shooting free throws in basketball, then you're not practicing shooting free throws in basketball. You can't buy a book on how to shoot a basketball and then expect that you know how to then shoot a basketball after you read the book. You have to be actually out there practicing. So again, if they don't have stuff to show you that they've really been working on by writing stuff out with their hands, then they're not engaging with the material and they're not studying in the way that they should. So that's basically it. If you ever need anything, please email me. You can get my email. Oh, I'll just tell you my email address. It's kjdarlington@galwaycsd.org. kjdarlington@galwaycsd.org. If you need anything, if you want some tips on how to help kids, what I'm seeing in class, anything comes up, anything I can do to help in any way whatsoever, please let me know. Thanks for coming.